So let's talk about this movie. You came on board. You have a relationship, a friendship with Scott Derickson. Are you also...
Relationship, yes.
How is that going?
We fight a lot, but the sex is great.
You a horror genre fan? I so want to just go down that track, but I'm not going to.
Down which track?
Your sex, but the fighting.
I am a horror fan, yes.
Talk to me about this one. Does it unnerve you at all, the sort of based on a true life element to it?
Yeah, that stuff scares me way more than, and not to take anything away from it, which I'm about to. But like, as Scott has said, like vampire or zombie stuff doesn't really scare me. I'm totally into it. I'm into the world of it, the same way I would be into like Lord of the Rings or.
Are you into Lord of the Rings and vampires?
Well, I love the Lord of the Rings books, or like Dan Simmons novels, things like that. I love the world of it. It doesn't scare me. So, but things like this, which are of some that people participate in these things in the world, that opens up a whole creepy side of stuff because it could involve you somehow. Did
you read the book?
Ralph's book? No. I listened to it on tape. No, because the book is really Ralph. It's not the movie. The character is a jumping off point. My character is more. He's a pretty simple guy in that I was much more concerned about getting the knife fighting correct. And
where's the knife fighting?
Well, my character loves knives, and that's how he communicates with criminals. He doesn't use tasers. He doesn't use guns. He was quick to pull a knife on a perp at any time of the day. So I was very concerned about making sure that I looked like I knew what I was doing.
So there's this real life element to this film. Does that sort of unnerve you at all? Does that?
Okay, well, before I did the movie, I didn't believe in anything, and then I did the movie, and then I started thinking, I saw the real life footage from one of these exorcisms that happened, with the NYPD, and that opened up my mind to questioning things. And now it's less than a year since we shot the movie, and I'm a full believer. And the movie definitely opened up my mind.
Can you talk about it? I mean, your character plays the wife of Eric Bana's character, who's this cop investigating possession, but she also has a link to the case, is my understanding. So what's her sort of connection?
Well, the movie it takes place during a time in Ralph Sarchi's life where all these crazy crimes start taking place, and then they just get more horrific and more scary, and it leads to this suspect who has this very otherworldly thing happening to him. And as Ralph Sarchi, Eric Bana's character, as he starts to open this up and delve into it and try to solve it and to stop these crimes, it opens up the portal, if you will, to his family, and they come after his family.
Is there one element that you think horror fans are going to particularly love? I mean, listen, there's a lot of possession films. Scott Derickson did a great one with Emily Rose. What do you think is going to kind of make this stand out?
I think what's great about this movie, in particular in the horror genre, is that it's based on the true accounts of an NYPD officer. Not just based on the true story of somebody or this person who's into spiritual stuff, but it's based on the true accounts of an NYPD. That's what I took away from this when I first read the script. I thought, this is bananas that this actually... It's the NYPD, and after they exhausted all efforts, they used exorcism as a tactic. And I just thought that was... that made it so much more real to me.
You directed one of my very favorite exorcism movies of the last 10 years, horror movies, really, Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Oh, that one, yes.
I love that one. This one also has the true life element. Can you talk about how that sort of affects, does it ground things a little bit?
Yeah, it certainly grounds things, and it's what makes the movie interesting creatively from the start, that you're dealing with a real guy, and in this case, a very interesting guy, a hardcore, South Bronx police sergeant, and his experiences and encounters with the evil in New York, and that automatically makes it fascinating and certainly adds an extra fear factor to the material.
Where do you sort of stand on this? Do you ever bring your work home? Does this creep you out more than, say, Sinister?
Yeah, I think so. Because nobody's really questioning whether or not Bughuul really exists. But that's not true when it comes to the demonic. I think that the difficult part of it is the research. When you're doing research in this kind of material, the stuff that we were talking about in the arena, when you're looking at exorcism videos and talking to people who've been through this experience and speaking to priests who do this, the reality of it really sets in. It's not like vampires and werewolves and zombies. It's not a purely fictional thing, because exorcism's a real fact that happens. And so when you are exposing yourself to the credible cases and doing the research, and you see how the preponderance of evidence that exists for this phenomenon, it becomes very disturbing. And that is harder when you're doing that alone, at your house and writing sometimes at night. That's a little scarier than actually making the movie.
Can you talk a little bit about the tone of the piece? I mean, is there an element of the investigative cop drama with the thriller? Is it mostly horror, straight up horror?
No, I mean, I think it's not straight up horror like Sinister. It's not a movie that's made primarily just to scare you. It is a police procedural as well. I think it's a scary supernatural thriller. It's a mystical cop thriller, and I think that the police elements of it are as indispensable to the story, and the characters of the characters within the cop world are as much a part of the movie as anything supernatural.